Welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a midweek preview, first one of these season. It's going up on the YouTube channel because it's Premier League and Championship, and we're starting off with Wolves v Chelsea. Now this is an interesting one, both teams not going too brilliant at the moment. Wolves have lost the last two, Chelsea disappointing defeat to Everton at the weekend. They'll both be looking to bounce back from them, but to be honest I think these sides are so evenly matched I can't see anything other than a draw here. I'm going to say 1-1. Man City take on West Brom, also on Tuesday night. Man City, they look a good side at the moment. Maybe disappointed with their draw against Man United, but I do think against smaller teams like West Brom, who are struggling at the moment, I can see them, just going back to the Man City of old over the past few seasons and properly thrashing an opponent. So I think it'll be a comfortable 4-0 win for Man City. At the Emirates, Arsenal host Southampton, and boy oh boy oh boy, this is a massive game for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Just awful defeat against Burnley at the weekend. They need a result here, but Southampton are playing so well at the moment. Incredible win against Sheffield United over the weekend. So it won't be easy. I do think they will scrape a point, and maybe that can be the basis for a little bit of a run, but I just can't see them winning it. I'll say 1-1. Leeds take on Newcastle, also on Tuesday night. This is a quite hard one to call. Both sides inconsistent. Newcastle have won the last two, however Leeds have lost the last two. Leeds are at home though. They tend to be slightly better at home. So this is quite hard to call. They're so evenly matched. But I just fancy Leeds for some reason. I think Marcelo Bielsa, tactical genius he is, may be able to come up with something. But it really isn't easy to call. I'm going to say 2-1 to Leeds. At the King Power, Leicester take on Everton at the King Power. Didn't I just say that? Class. This is an interesting game actually. Leicester hopefully rebounding now, following a bit of an iffy run. Won their last two games and seems to be back on it. Everton, great win against Chelsea following a dodgy run, so I'm looking forward to this game. Should be entertaining. And I do think Leicester may get the win here. Yeah, I'm going to say 2-0 to Leicester to put them right back in contention with Liverpool and Spurs. Brighton take on Fulham at Craven Cottage. This is an interesting game. Brighton just seems to be really not playing too badly, but just getting unlucky. 1 point from their last three, so they'll be looking to bounce back for that. Fulham, great draw against Liverpool. They'll be looking to build on that. So I think it will actually be quite a close game here. Not one that you'll be desperate to watch, but I think it will be quite close, quite tentative, and maybe quite entertaining. I think the two teams will cancel each other out, and I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. Liverpool take on Tottenham in what has to be the biggest game of the weekend. Liverpool, really disappointing against Fulham. Tottenham, really disappointing against Crystal Palace, so that adds some spice to it. I think these two sides are just so evenly matched, and I don't think any manager will want to give anything away here. I can only see a result that suits both sides, and that is a draw, I'm afraid. I'm going to say 1-1. West Ham take on Crystal Palace at London Stadium. West Ham on an incredible run at the moment. They've won 4 of the last 5, just been outstanding recently. Crystal Palace, good point against Tottenham, and 5-1 against West Brom the game before that, so both sides are on a good run here, and I think it'll be a really even game, but I just think West Ham have been so impressive recently. I can see them just having a tiny bit too much for Crystal Palace, so I'm going to say West Ham 2, Crystal Palace 1. Aston Villa take on Burnley at Villa Park. Now this is interesting. Burnley often be on a high after that incredible win against Arsenal. Aston Villa, they're going alright at the moment as well. Great win against rivals Wolves. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this game as well. Both teams coming off on a high, so should be a good game, but I do think Aston Villa do have a bit more quality in the side, which is why I'm going to predict a 2-0 Villa win. Sheffield United take on Manchester United, and boy oh boy oh boy, Sheffield United 1 point from 12 games. They simply have to get a result soon. I think relegation is pretty much nailed on already at this point. As for Man United, they seem to be improving, getting better by game. They're on a good little run of form now, in the Premier League at least, maybe not in Europe. But oh well. And I do think they will get the win here. I'm going to say 2-0 to Man United. I think it'll be a comfortable win. Moving on to the Championship now, and we're starting off at Loftus Road as QPR take on Stoke. Stoke in 8th place, but they've obviously had this huge blow of losing Tyrese Campbell. Mediocre draw against Derby. I think they'll see that as a winnable game. QPR late heartbreak against Reading, and they're obviously on an awful run of form. Really need to get results soon, otherwise you do fear for Mark Warburton. However, I can't see that coming here. I think Stoke will get a narrow 1-0 win. Barnsley take on Preston at Oakwell. This is a really hard game to call. Two really inconsistent sides. You never know what you're going to get from these two sides. Preston seem to win 3-0 one week, lose 3-0 the next week. Barnsley, they get hammered by Bournemouth and then go and win 2 in a row. Just pretty much sums up the Championship. However, Preston's away form is so good, I can actually see them getting a W here. So I'm going to say 2-0 to Preston, but this game's just impossible to predict. Bournemouth take on Wickham. I think this is probably one of the most comfortable games I'm going to have to predict all season. Bournemouth, incredible result for them, 5-0 against Huddersfield at the weekend. Wickham, they've lost 3 of the last 5, drew the other 2. They need a win if they want to have any chance of staying up. Only 2 points adrift, but they've got to start winning games, and I don't think it will start here. I don't think anyone thinks it will start here. Bournemouth are just really good at the moment, and I think it will be a comfortable win for them. So I'm going to say Bournemouth 3, Wickham 0. Bristol City take on Millwall at Ashton Gate. Now this is interesting. Millwall, of course, in desperate need of a win. They're on shocking form at the moment. Winless in their last 10. Bristol City, 2 wins and 3 losses in their last 5. So yeah, obviously they need a result too to stay in touch with the playoff fixtures while they're going through a bit of an injury crisis. And I think Millwall are in such poor form here. I think I would back Bristol City to get the win. So I'm going to say a 2-0 home win. Nottingham Forest take on Sheffield Wednesday in a game which I'm kind of weirdly looking forward to, just to see what happens, because both teams are just in such awful run of form. Both just somehow need to stop the rot here. In terrible state, and to be honest, it'd be a travesty if any of those sides went down to League One looking at the size of them. But to be honest, I just think it's going to be so cagey. Both sides will be desperate not to lose. I can see it being a 0-0 4 draw. Probably the game in the Championship that I'm most looking forward to this weekend is Watford v Brighton. Giving away my score predictions early there. Watford, they're in a decent run of form, won their last 2. As for Brentford, unbeaten in 5. 2 really good sides, 2 really exciting attacks. You've got players like Sarr and Tony in both these teams. So, certainly not going to be short in goals. And to be honest, I think these 2 sides are so evenly matched, they will cancel each other out. So I'm going to say Watford 1, Brentford 1. Derby take on Swansea on Wednesday. And this is actually a hard one to predict. A few weeks ago I said easily Derby win, but Derby, they're actually on a really good run of form at the moment. So yeah, I don't think this is really hard to predict, to be honest. Swansea, they're in 3rd, great win obviously against Cardiff, but then go and draw against Birmingham. Bournemouth. So it's quite a hard one to predict. I think it'll be a draw actually, 1-1. Great result for Derby that. Luton take on Middlesbrough at the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough, they're really inconsistent too at the moment. Win 1, lose 1, it seems to be the tale with them. But I think I make them favourites here. Luton, great 3-0 win against Preston. But, they are very hit and miss like most teams in the Championship. So I do think Middlesbrough will have a bit too much quality at them looking at the 2 sides. So I will say a 2-0 Borough win. Blackburn take on Rotherham. Rotherham are in the bottom half, which certainly means Blackburn are going to win. Yeah, it just seems to be all the bottom half teams and lose to all the top half teams. Incredible. Rotherham in 20th. Great win against Bristol City. They'll take loads of confidence from that. And their battles start with some 2 teams like Derby, Sheffield Wednesday and Forest in and around them. So yeah, they'll have to take confidence from that, but I can't see them getting anything from here. I think Blackburn will be too strong for them. I'll say 3-0. Cardiff take on Birmingham at the Cardiff Stadium, or whatever it's called. Cardiff were intense. They were on a great run, 4 wins on the trot before they lost to Swansea, visual hurt. Birmingham, a good little run as well before that loss to Watford. So both teams will be looking to rebound quickly here. So I suppose it kind of suits both teams here. No, they got the opportunity to rebound pretty quickly. And I do think Cardiff are the team with slightly more quality. So Cardiff are the team I will predict to win. I'll say 2-0 to Cardiff. Coventry take on Huddersfield at St Andrews. Coventry in 18th. They're on a great little run, 7 unbeaten. Huddersfield, awful defeat against Bournemouth. Yeah, they'll be looking to bounce back from that quickly, especially considering they won the last 2. So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell with them. But I do think this will be a quite close game. 2 evenly matched sides. 2 sides who can be really good on their day and then not so good when it's not their day. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'll say 1 apiece. And finally, Reading take on Norwich at the Medeski Stadium. Another game that I'm really looking forward to. Both sides going through a bit of an injury crisis, to be honest. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. But this is a hard one to predict. Both teams just have a knack of grinding out results, as we saw at the weekend. Reading winning at QPR, Norwich winning at Blackburn. 2 great wins for them. And I think the 2 teams will cancel out each other here. I think they're so evenly matched, I'll say 1 apiece. But anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news. And subscribe to my channel on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.